Do you know what makes me mad? Political pundits that won't just tell you what you need to know about the 2024 presidential election. There are 5 things that will decide the 2024 presidential election. Let's go.
Joining me now is Councilman Ronald C. Rice of Newark's West Ward.
Joining me right now is Newark Councilman Ronald C. Rice.
Joining me again, our Newark Councilman Ronald C. Rice.
Joining me now from D.C. is the Senior Director of Government Relations for the National Alliance, is Ron Rice.
What up, sports fans? Curious Formula here with a new video. Okay, we're back. But before we get started, I need you to bless your brother and subscribe to my YouTube channel below. Like and comment and do the same for my other social media platforms. So, what are the 5 things that will decide the 2024 presidential election? Number 1, Trump and independents. If you watch my content, you know I have said for a long time that Donald Trump can only win the presidency again if he wins independent voters, and he has shown no signs of being able to do so in 2024. Miss me with all the national polling showing him leading. Miss me with all the polling showing him leading in battleground states almost 10 months before an election. The only thing these polls show me consistently is that Donald Trump is getting his arse kicked by Joe Biden with independents everywhere. Remember, Trump barely beat Clinton in those swing states that won him the election, and the difference was independent voters, which he won outright in 2016. But Donald Trump has not won those voters since. He did not win independents in the 2018 midterms, the 2020 presidential campaign, nor the 2022 midterms, and polling shows him losing to Biden by 14 points right now with that same group. And that is 8 years of losing, and it will continue if he cannot make a miracle happen. Number 2, Biden and turnout. Now, I don't want Biden voters to start popping bottles based on number 1, because Biden has almost as tough of a problem in getting to 270 as well, and that is finding a way to replicate his huge voter turnout in 2020. Just like independents were the key to Trump's win in 2016, large voter turnout was the key to Biden's win in 2020. And his enthusiasm gap is huge this year. He has consolidated less partisan support than Trump has with his own party. His polling is not strong, and he is especially weak with young voters and African American men. We'll talk about third-party candidates later, but I just don't see how Biden gets the same turnout in 2024 that he got in 2020, and that may help Trump win in battleground states like Michigan, where Palestinians and working-class whites are threatening to not show up for the Dems because of the Israeli-Hamas conflict and lagging inflation. Number 3, social issues. Pundits are not talking about these wedge issues, but I think in a close election, social issues are actually going to play a part and may mean the difference in a 1 or 2 percentage point win or loss either way. I'm just not sure which will have the greater effect. Will abortion move significant votes to Biden, or will immigration move significant votes to Trump? Will the existential threats to democracy rally voters to Biden, or will the battle over transgender rights and CRT and affirmative action move folks to Trump? They may be large contributors, or merely the debate stuff we hammer out at family reunions and at the water cooler at work. But remember, Governor DeSantis ran his whole campaign on social and wedge issues, and he lost miserably. So it will be interesting to see what happens in the fall. Number 4, this is something that people don't really talk a lot about: AI and the scorched earth campaign strategy. Much like social issues, pundits are not talking about the effect that artificial intelligence could have on this race, or the scorched earth campaign tactics that ultimately both sides will have to employ in this new alternative facts age of political debate and persuasion. You can expect a lot of fake Biden and Trump fakes, robocalls, ads, fake fact and web pages, etc. that will be straight lies coming to you soon. We've already seen a few test drives for the Trump side, but don't worry, Biden will be doing much of the same in the near future. And how will a Max Headroom type ad with a fake Joe Biden falling down some stairs or mumbling to himself play with an electorate that seemingly believes everything on social media, especially when it is given validity from your favorite algorithm-generated content creator that has been bought and paid for, like Steve Bannon or Charlie Kirk or Candace Owens or the Hodge twins, etc., to perpetuate it as real until we find out 3 to 5 days later that it was fake? The damage would have been done already. Or the Trump ad that will have him calling Asians derogatory terms or speaking what will be advertised as a real undercover meeting where he says something racist or misogynistic or corrupt, and it gets supported by the likes of the Young Turks or Tyler Cohen, etc. And then there's the scorched earth campaign tactics of trying to keep scrutiny off of your candidate by literally questioning every policy decision. Breakfast order, suit color, misstatement, bad photo, slip, trip, and fall. Biden peoples literally started it by calling Trump the worst president ever, and now Trump people are calling Biden the worst president ever. Hold tight, it is only going to get worse. And lastly, number 5, the threat of third-party contenders. Look, there has not been a real third-party threat to win the presidency since, well, never. Despite some well-meaning and statement runs by the likes of Eugene V. Debs getting 1 million votes for president in the 20s when he ran as a socialist, or George Wallace running on a segregationist platform and winning some actual electoral votes in states, or Ross Perot funding his own independent campaign that actually just helped Bill Clinton beat George Bush. I mean, you all know that Clinton loses but for Perot taking votes from Bush, right? But I digress. Third parties act as spoilers, not winners. Enter Robert Kennedy Jr., polling better than both Trump or Biden among the millennial crowd and acting as many people's second choice on both sides of the aisle. He combines the conspiracy theories so popular with the right about COVID and vaccinations while offering some pretty revolutionary ideas regarding new ways to get the working class more economic and social mobility power that appeals to the left. And I must admit, from a policy perspective, he is an attractive candidate when he talks about helping working class people buy homes to unlock generational wealth, etc. But while third-party candidates have not won in the past, that was pre-Trump and pre-social media platforms that now allow a third-party candidate to address and reach out to voters in ways that the mainstream media on the right and left cannot control, censor, etc. In fact, when mainstream media looks to put the kibosh on a candidate, the more social media rallies around that candidate. Now, it remains to be seen if the fascination with the Kennedy translates to actual votes in November, but his candidacy will be a factor, and I think a factor that takes votes away more from Biden, especially if Kennedy can manage to get on the stage for debates with both of them as the man in the middle that will make Biden look like a senile old man and Trump like the policy lightweight endangers the democracy that he actually is. But what do you think? Subscribe, like, and comment below. Please do the same with my other social media platforms. We are building this platform as we fly. And as George Clinton from P-Funk always says, think it ain't illegal yet. Stay curious.